Well, welcome everyone to another Circles of AI session today. Thank you for joining us. And if this is your first time here, let me explain a little bit about what Circles of AI is all about. So my name is James Rowe, and I'm a co-founder of the Circles of AI community. And Circles of AI is a free peer-to-peer community for business owners, professionals, and teams who want to explore AI tools and technologies together, especially those who aren't technical experts. And so within the community, our goal is around education and discovery within AI tools and technologies. And like this session today, we host a monthly session that's free for anyone to join, where we roll up our sleeves and try out some new tools and explore some different tools and workflows within a real business context. So these sessions are collaborative. We try to be really practical with them, and it's built for people who want to use AI to really focus on how to adopt and integrate it into their day-to-day work without feeling overwhelmed. So in today's session, we're going to be diving into how to build your own customer persona GPT. So we'll spend about 20 to 30 minutes on that. And we'll also explore AI-powered playbooks, which is something that I've been developing and has been percolating over the last several months with some of the things that we've learned from working on Circles of AI. So in terms of what we're going to be covering today, so today we're going to explore how to use a customer persona AI-powered playbook to create a tool that provides the voice of your customer and can give you some information and feedback about your marketing content by using a proxy for a real customer. And so we'll learn how those playbooks can drive real tangible outcomes for your business. I'm going to demo the customer persona I created for a real business that you'll see. I've used simulated data to produce it, but you'll see how it works and I'll give some practical examples around that. And then, as promised in the session description, we're going to be sharing a mini playbook that you can use that has all the prompts and all the workflows that we'll show today to actually go through and develop a customer persona assistant, just like the one we'll show today, and they can use immediately. So it takes a few hours to go through the process, so we won't be able to do it all within our time allotment today. But you'll have that when you leave the session. You'll have a link that you can go download that and work on that on your own. And then at the end of the session, we're going to share a new AI adoption model that we've been developing. So coming out of the experiences of working with the Circles of AI community, there's a new commercial service that we're launching that focuses on how to bring these playbooks into your business and provides coaching and facilitation for the adoption process to help you with the change management and some of the practical implementation aspects. So we'll talk about that more at the second half of the session. So I want to take a moment to introduce today's co-presenters. So I've got two gentlemen here who are core Circle of AI community members. First is Riv Balaket, he's also the founder of the Surrey AI Meetup. So there's events that he hosts in the Surrey region. So these are live in-person events. So if you're ever looking to meet people in person, Riv is the guy to talk to. He's also the EasySOP co-founder, and we'll hear more from him in a little bit, talk more about that. I've also got Tris Hussey here, who is been with Circles of AI for a long time. Tris is a very experienced marketer, has worked for, I think, over 2 decades in the industry and has really seen a lot of the evolution of digital marketing over that time. And he is our founder circle facilitator. And so he's going to be providing coaching and hands-on assistance with some of the playbooks that we're introducing as part of our commercial offering. So we'll hear from Riv and Tris a little bit later in the session, but they'll be helping to facilitate the session today. And if you've got any questions, please just put them in the chat. And as we go, we want to try to keep this interactive and bring the audience into the session. So feel free to just add stuff to the chat and they'll be monitoring that. Also, if you joined late, Tris or Riv, maybe you can post the links in the chat again. We're sharing a PDF of the presentation today that you can look at, as well as the link to access your the PDF copy of the playbook that you can download that we'll be demonstrating in a minute. All right. So with this Circles of AI, we've been running it for about 15 months now. And one of the challenges that we've seen come up over and over in the community is we have a lot of business owners or startup founders who come to the community and are learning about these tools, and they get really excited about it. But then when it comes to actually implementing, it's not as easy sometimes as it looks when we do these demos. And so things get tripped up. And so that excitement can turn into frustration when they hit a wall trying to integrate it into their existing operations and systems. And so one of the challenges that we've seen is there's this gap between AI training, which is focused on personal empowerment and learning how to prompt and doing the AI basics of learning about the tools and the prompting approaches. And so a lot of this training is done at more of a concept level. It's focused on strategic and what's the right word? It's not immediately practical and things that you can put immediately into the your business. So it can be time consuming. Some of these things are quite expensive, although there's free training out there. But it really requires internal leadership and evangelism by the leadership team to kind of convince people to start getting hands-on with these tools and going through that learning process of not being comfortable and really knowing what to do. So that can often be a real sticking point. On the other end of the spectrum, there's a lot of new AI agent tools that are coming to market. And so these tools they have the promise where, you just point them at the different SaaS tools you have in your business and you give them your account login details and they do everything for you. Which I don't know about you, but that freaks me out. Giving the idea of giving an AI agent access to all of my credentials and some of my sensitive systems, not really knowing what it's going to do, feels really risky to me. So, for me, I am very much an AI evangelist and somebody who wants to adopt these things, but it's something that I'm cautious of when it comes to giving up control and delegating that to agents. So it's a little bit like hiring a stranger to run your business without proper oversight and supervision. So, we've got these two extremes. And so what we've been trying to do is figure out how do we help people navigate moving off of that blank page syndrome of looking at ChatGPT or Gemini or Copilot and saying, I don't really know what to do to get started here. Be able to move through that and get some immediate results, while also getting comfortable with the flow and the quirks of AI that allow you to get to a point where you can start to make informed trade-offs around what types of parts of your business are safe to use AI agents for and start to automate. So AI playbooks kind of sit right in that middle space to help people have a curated set of tools and a step-by-step set of instructions that help you walk through that. And so we're going to demonstrate that today and talk more about the other benefits in a bit. All right, a couple things on this slide. I am going to hop into ChatGPT in a minute and introduce you to Emily. And so Emily is a customer persona that I created, and it's based on a simulated customer for a real business. So my brother Duncan is a co-owner of a company called Paris Service Group, and they provide heating and cooling and plumbing services in the Vancouver region. And he's kindly agreed to let us use his company for this demonstration. And so what I did before our session was I went through and ran the playbook, which if you scan the QR code there in the corner, you can get access to the playbook. And So I ran that playbook. I used simulated answers because I didn't want to expose any customer data for Paris for confidentiality and strategic reasons. So Emily is a made-up person based on made-up information, but it demonstrates the process that we went through and gives you a good sense of what's possible. So today, when you see what she does, you'll have a sense of what you'll be able to do when you run the playbook for yourself on your own business. And when you feed it the real data, you'll get results that are much more powerful and tailored to your business, and really a good way to test your marketing. So let's meet Emily here before we go and dig in. So Emily is a homeowner on the North Shore. She's in her 30s with a young family, and she's in an older home that often has issues with plumbing and heating and cooling. She's looking for fast, trustworthy help when things break, and unfortunately, they break fairly often. So she's going to give us her feedback on some scenarios that we'll show here in just a minute. All right, so I'm going to demonstrate 3 scenarios, and then if you've got ideas for things you'd like to ask Emily and other things we can demo, we'll have a few minutes to also take some questions from the audience to be able to show that. So, oops, let me jump out of here. Oops. All right. So I'll just quickly show you the homepage for Paris Service Group. So they provide service-oriented repair and replacement for plumbing, heating, and air conditioning. We're going to use this website as part of our information that we feed Emily. First thing we're going to do is we're going to go and copy in the prompts that came out at the end of the running of the playbook. So it's a bit of a long prompt, so just give me a second as I copy it. I'll just kind of explain at a very high level what it's doing. Unfortunately, the formatting is kind of funky here, so you won't really see it, but we're asking the AI to take on the persona of a marketing feedback assistant that has assumed the role of Emily. And then as part of that, we're giving the customer persona description into the prompt itself. So we've embedded that. And this comes from the playbook steps that are part of the shared playbook. And then on top of that, we also, further down, provide the positioning statement for Paris Paris Service Group, which is down here. And so what we're going to do is Emily provides feedback on the things that are working well in terms of the questions we're asking around the strengths of the marketing, areas for improvement that she thinks doesn't quite resonate with her perspective, and then recommendations on revisions for things that you can change to get a better response. Okay. So we're going to submit that here. This prompt can also be put into a custom GPT if you're using ChatGPT, or Gem if you're using Gemini, or custom Copilot with Microsoft Copilot, or also Claude's projects. So these all allow you to have kind of a standard prompt that you use. We're not doing that with ChatGPT today because with the new GPT-5 release, they kind of broke custom GPTs and the web search doesn't work very reliably. So I'm going to use it just in the regular chat, just so that we don't run into any hiccups. Okay, so I've submitted the prompt. And so the AI is now in the persona of Emily. And so she's going to respond with things that feel important to her, things that are off-putting or don't address her needs, and the changes that she'd like to see in the content. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to ask her to review the Paris Service Group website. So Emily, you just landed on our website because you have a home emergency. How does it look from your point of view? And so we're going to pass in that website and ask. All right, so as the information comes up here, so first impressions from Emily. So she's run into a situation where there was an unexpected cold snap, and so she has a problem. So the things that she's looking for well-trusted service providers. So trust hits the mark there. Same day service, because this is an emergency situation. That's an important feature that's highlighted well. A clear process in terms of how to engage with the company, and 24/7 on-call support. So these are all tick the boxes for her in terms of things that are important. As well as she sees that her home in the North Shore is in the service area, and so that there's an immediate service there. So some things that she identifies as things that she'd like to see improved. So the hero section, she said, it's not quite aligning with her need for emergency response. Feels a little bit generic from a perspective of somebody who's needing an emergency repair. There's some concern about pricing. Sometimes with a homeowner, you'll get an emergency situation and they're worried about being gouged, taken advantage of if they do that. So that can be a reassuring piece to put on the website to say, hey, we don't do that. We're going to do our best to give you a fair deal. And some other aspects. I won't go through all the details, but you can see there's several areas for improvement, and then takes those areas of improvement and suggests how to actually go better connect with the persona to resonate with the things that matter to her. So cold day, no heat. So that's what she's looking for. Prominent buttons or calls to action about calling based on an emergency. There's a direct phone number, and then reassurance on pricing and trust. Okay. And then it gives an overall summary of the different things, what's working and what's missing, and then a final thought. So from a perspective of, kind of a general assessment of the website, it got some good piece of information here. But let's go a little deeper into looking now if Emily has a more specific situation. So we're going to go a step deeper. So we're going to say, Emily, the temperature outside is -10 and your furnace just quit. Walk me through what you do to go find a solution. All right. So the first thing she does is she panics. She's got a young family. The kids are cold, and the air is already the temperature's dropping in the house. So she tries to check the thermostat and figure out what's going on, but can't figure it out, can't fix it. So then she goes and kind of the persona goes through the steps of what a typical customer like this would do. So there'd be a search phase where they'll look for certain search keywords and things here. So this is a place where we could dig a little deeper. We could ask Emily, what other kind of search terms might you consider searching for? So these are great for looking at if you're doing paid ads or looking to build your SEO or AI SEO. Because lots of people are using AI tools to search now. You can start to look at like what keywords are going to match up there. And then importantly, she's not necessarily looking for guidance through social media. She's like, I want to find and search for somebody who can help me, and I want to call them and talk to a person. So, this is something that, we'll probably talk about AI receptionists and stuff and call directing. This can be something that you should be careful with if you do emergency service. Does a person who's having an emergency want to get directed and talk to an AI, or do they want to talk to a real person that feels like they can help them faster? So those are some things to consider. You might want to test with the persona like this to see what that perspective is. And then contingency while waiting, she's going to figure out like some things to do to keep the house warm. So that might be something as well. Maybe your website gives some tips if like your furnace breaks in the winter. Here's ways that you can kind of keep your house warm while you're waiting for service. So you can see some interesting ideas starting to pop up here. So these could be ideas also to put in like a monthly newsletter, especially as we get into furnace servicing season. All right. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to ask Emily to review a Facebook ad that we're thinking about running. And unfortunately, the ad has formatted funky, but let's see what it says. So we're asking Emily's, she's in an older home and she's thinking about doing a furnace upgrade as the heating season comes up. And what are some things that might make her look at a Facebook ad around furnace upgrades? So we're proposing that we're going to really play up the whole rebates side of things. Summer's almost over and your furnace is going to be working hard again soon. Don't wait until the cold snap to find out that it's not up to the task. Then there's over $3,000 of rebates. So we've got some copy that we'll use for the Facebook ad, and let's ask her what she thinks. So again, she's going to go through the things that are working, the strengths of the copy, and then areas for improvement and some things that can hold her back. Oh, interesting. One of the things to keep in mind when you're working with a tool like this is if you have the questions in the same context of the conversation, sometimes you'll get some context mixing up. And that's what happened is in a previous conversation or for previous step, we talked about the -10 and emergency need, and it's mixing that into the ad copy here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually copy our prompt and do it again so that we get a clean run here. So just bear with me for a second. Okay, let me try feeding that Facebook ad in there again. All right. So because Emily's very concerned about cold weather with her children, we can't see it here, but in the customer persona, one of the key concerns is around the comfort of her family. And so being without heat in the winter is a serious concern for her. So this is why this piece is really highlighted around the urgency for making sure that there isn't a breakdown in the winter. So there's some things that we can adjust here. The other thing we could do is we could ask her to do a rewrite. So let's say, Emily, rewrite this ad to align with your heating needs. All right. So this now emphasizes the comfort and preventing breakdowns and being caught flat-footed when with an emergency repair in the winter, and then kind of pushes the rebates down out of the headline into the second part, which is kind of a bonus. So it's a little adjustment that resonates better with this persona. So you can see some of these examples of how having that perspective, the lens of this specific customer, can really help you to refine and adjust and run a what-if scenario with different personas for your business, and be able to get perspective and feedback on that. So I'm going to pause here and see if there are any questions or ideas from the audience in terms of other things that you'd like to ask Emily. And then after that, I'll show you how we actually went about building Emily. Any questions?
I have one question, James.
Sure.
Just wondering, is there value in adding in other social media platforms to get a better sense of it, to make sure that there's, no deficiencies between the messaging? For instance, looking at your Facebook ads, comparing them to your Instagram ads, and also against your website. Is there value in doing that?
Yeah. So you can definitely, we could get going here and we could say, let's ask Emily, which social media we review typically meetings to find home service providers. So she says that she doesn't, when she's looking for home service providers, she wouldn't search social media to find them. Rather, she would Google them. However, to build brand awareness, she will probably see them on Facebook or Instagram as a feed and just have name recognition and awareness. So Facebook is her preferred platform. Instagram, less for searching, but more for like eye-catching images or short videos. So some ideas there would be, you probably don't want to be focusing on text-based ads there. You want really eye-catching stuff. Not really familiar with Nextdoor, but that comes up as an idea here. And then Google Business Profile. I know a lot of home-based service businesses really focus on getting high reviews there. And so Google Business Review would be an important one as well.
James, we have a question from Jeremy who asked, what's the most effective way to keep your custom GPT in character over time? I think you demonstrated essentially what you do is when you have a new thought, when you have a new essentially conversation, you start a new chat. And the benefit of a custom GPT is it has those knowledge blocks, the Emilys, the Bills, whoever your persona are, and the details about your business baked in. So you can do that and you can just go, hey, okay, now I want to ask you about this. And that's how you try to stay in character. But you always have to be wary and make sure they are. And sometimes query to make sure they're reading in these knowledge blocks again and they're fully incorporating them.
And that's a really important piece here, Tris, is when it comes down to the prompt. So for example, today, I'll just show you the document that I was using to copy and paste text over from. So when you're having conversation, you do want to, refresh the prompt fairly often so that you can just make sure that it is starting from a fresh perspective. As you have a conversation with the AI, what you've talked about previously will also be brought in and kept in the context of the conversation. So in the examples there, when I mentioned that Emily had an emergency where it's minus 10 degrees outside, her furnace is quit, and she needs emergency service. And then I asked about a Facebook ad that was talking about summertime and getting ready for the fall. It was like, this doesn't make sense. And it tried to bring both of those contexts into the same reply. It didn't tell me that it didn't make sense. It just tried to incorporate it. When you start seeing things like that, it's a good idea to start a new conversation, just start a new chat and paste your prompt again. Or if you have a custom GPT or a gem or one of these other reusable prompts, they're basically saved. So in this case, this big long text is the actual prompt. It's like 2.5 pages. So it's annoying to have to copy and paste that. So you can save it and basically reuse it as a reusable widget and bring it into a conversation that way with these custom tools. So great question, and understanding the context of the AI is important. It's a little bit, think of it like if you're having a conversation with somebody and you're talking about one topic and then all of a sudden you switch to a new topic and it's kind of people are like, whoa, confused because all of a sudden you've changed topics and then things will get mixed up. The AI is like that as well. Any other questions?
Yeah, James, before you move on, Wendy's asking, what paid version of GPT do you use? ChatGPT.
Yes, I use ChatGPT Plus. And with that, I have to say I'm a little unhappy with the new upgrades that they've too many windows moving around here. Just one second. Yeah, I tend to use a lot of tabs, and I'm having some issues with my windows right now. So in terms of what I was showing here, this is a paid ChatGPT Plus account. And so this costs $20 US per month to use this. I also use Gemini. I have a Google Workspace for Business account that gives you Gemini as part of that. And in here, this works just as well with the same prompt. You can just paste it in and then talk to Emily in the same way. And as I mentioned, there's also this ability to create these reusable prompts here. So these are called gems. Claude is great as well. So like any of the main AI platforms, ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, Copilot, they can all do this and they all work well. As long as you can upload files and search the web, then you can point it to websites, you can give it documents to review, all those types of things work. Any other questions? All right. Oh, did we have a raised hand? Dawn, yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to ask, what are you unhappy with the upgrades?
Oh, yes. Sorry, I started that and then lost my train of thought. The thing that I'm unhappy with ChatGPT upgrading to GPT-5 is that they broke all the custom GPTs. So it is, on one hand, I like that they've tried to simplify the number of models. It makes it easier for non-experts to kind of choose what model. It helps you to navigate that, figure it out on your own. But for people who've created workflows in custom GPTs, I have about 80 custom GPTs I've built over the last 2.5 years. And a lot of them aren't working properly now, which is really irritating. It's time in my different workflows and stuff. So happy with that. But you know, I guess part of being an early adopter. Anything else? All right, let's carry on then. Okay, so just summarizing what we've covered there with Emily. So Emily is a simulated customer perspective. So she doesn't speak really in a customer's voice, but she is a proxy. So she's a simulation of a typical customer that and what they think and how they feel and how they react to the type of marketing content. And so with this perspective, it can help you to understand their thoughts and feelings around that. Sounds like I cut out there for a bit. Am I back now? Can everybody see and hear me okay? Okay. Yes, Don?
Sorry, no question.
Oh, okay. All right. So what Emily told us, sorry, I'll just repeat this. So Emily is a simulated customer perspective. So she's a proxy for real customers for Paris Service Group. And so what she can do is we can simulate her thoughts and feelings and behaviors to understand what real customers like her might do. And so this can help us to reveal where to focus our marketing efforts and to get the greatest impact. So we can do things like website reviews from her perspective of emergency service, search behavior of how she might go and find the different service providers and what she's looking for, help review ads or other content that we're putting out there and how what channel she might be looking at and coming across. And then there were some really good questions and answers there from the audience that we covered as well. So get the sense of like what's possible here, and it's a pretty powerful tool. So what I'd like to do now is talk a little bit about what is inside the playbook that you can access there with the link. So there's five, as part of the playbook, there's five main steps that are happening. And inside, I'll show after the slide what the playbook actually looks like. But there's a detailed step-by-step sequence of instructions, almost like a recipe that takes you through which tools to use and the step-by-step of how to go and put prompts into the tools and then what to do with the outputs. And so the first step is we get the AI to interview you as a business owner or an expert in your business about your customers. So we ask about what your customer looks like, give some specific examples of individual customers and tell a story about them. And the AI will interview you and ask probing questions to get a sense of what those customers, how they behave and what they do and how they worked with you for previous engagements. The next prompt then goes into your business offering. So it starts by analyzing your website and then asks additional probing questions about the products and services that you offer, your brand promises, the additional value propositions and features of what you do, and really the how does your business work. And then the third step, it asks you about your competitors. So it asks to list 3 to 5 primary competitors, and then also asks about what customers do when they choose not to proceed with actually making a purchase. So this might be do-it-yourself homeowners, or in this case, who might repair their own problems, or just status quo. They're just not ready to move forward, and what are blockers that are stopping them from moving forward. And so collecting all this information, this gives kind of, this doesn't replace primary market research, but doing primary market research is time consuming and can be quite expensive. So for small businesses, this is often unachievable. It's just not really within the ability to have the budget or time to do. And so this AI playbook gives you 80% of the value of that by taking the knowledge that's in your head as a business owner or a senior leader in your business and interviewing you to pull it out and get it down documented. And then the fourth step is taking all of that information and creating the draft persona, as well as a positioning statement for your business that you can then use as, to inform all your marketing content. So typically when you work with like a marketing agency, they're going to work with you to build this strategic side of things to actually build your personas and your positioning, and then use that across all your marketing. So you can do this yourself and get, like I said, about an 80% version that gives you really good direction, although it's not going to be this, a drop-in equivalent for what you'd get from working with a full marketing agency. And then finally, what I showed you with all those prompts was you take the persona and the positioning statement and then use another prompt that will integrate that into a reusable prompt that turns your AI into your customer persona and that you can then have conversations with as a proxy for customers. And so this is a playbook. It's freely available. You get a good sense of how it works, and hope that you take advantage of checking that out and downloading it. Right. So we're now going to switch. Actually, sorry. Before we go to this, I'm going to just ask: are there any questions about what I've gone through in terms of the process with how Emily works, the playbook? I did say that I would show the playbook really quickly, just in terms of like what the sections look like. Oops. Get my, you know what? I'm not going to. My computer's too slow right now. But like I said, download it. You'll get a chance to go through it there as well. So, any audience questions? Question from Leslie is: does this create several personas or just one? It can create several personas if you've got lots of a variety of different customers, but it asks you to pick a primary persona that you want to go and take all the way to the end of the process. But there's nothing stopping you from going back and repeating and running this multiple times to create different personas. And in fact, I've done this before where I work with a lot of B2B businesses where there are multiple buying decision makers. There's like a business buying decision maker, a technical buyer, and an operations buyer. And we create 3 personas, one for each of them, and then have conversations to talk to each of them about marketing from their unique perspectives. And we basically follow this process. So this can be used in lots of different ways. If you're B2B, you can have those different types of decision makers. Or if you're B2C, if you've got a variety of different segments that you go after, you can use those personas that way as well. There was a question that from, sorry, I have lost my chat. So let me see what that was.
So the question was, James, from Ali, is how much detail is enough or might be too much training the AI? And I follow it's never too much. The more, the better for AI. I can talk about that in the Q&A at the end.
Yeah. So something important here is if you've tried to go and do all of these steps in one single conversation, you will probably find that you can overwhelm the AI. What we do in the playbook is we actually have 5 separate different conversations, and we snapshot the outputs of each step and then feed that as input into the next step. And so what that does is it condenses the information into the most important relevant information that then acts as the input to the next piece. And then you don't end up losing information because you've given it too much context. So when you're actively doing the information feeding during the interviews, there, as Tris said, there really is no such thing as too much information. It's going to take all of that and synthesize it and bring it in. I've loaded up 1.5 hour long transcripts from calls and things into ChatGPT, and that's just fine. So you can feed a lot of information. I will say one other thing is that when you're doing interviews, you're not forced to just do it by in text. You don't have to use it as a chatbot. This is a place where having a conversation using the voice controls is really, really helpful. So I will start the conversation where I'll paste the prompt in, and then I will switch to voice mode and ask it to ask me questions one at a time, interview style. And then we'll just go through a whole conversation. And I find that much easier than trying to type out all my ideas. So that can be a really effective way to do this as well. All right. Just in the sake of time here, I'm going to now move on to our next section, but we'll have a few minutes at the end to do Q&A if there's other questions that come up. So I'm going to hand over to Riv now to talk more about the EasySOP project that we're working on.
Thank you, James. Yeah, so what you just saw with Emily is only one example of what's possible when you combine AI with a clear step-by-step playbook. And honestly, that's just the beginning. We're building a growing library of AI-powered SOPs, and the Founder Circle is your chance to help shape what comes next, while also getting the support to actually put them into action. When you join the Founder Circle, here's what you get. You're first in line to get every new playbook as soon as it's developed. You'll have expert support, so you'll have bi-weekly Q&A sessions with Tris, where you can troubleshoot, adapt workflows, and make sure the playbooks fit your business perfectly. And direct influence. So your feedback doesn't just get noted, it's going to help us shape the playbooks as we release them. And recognition, you'll be acknowledged as a founding member with more benefits coming as the program grows.
All right. Thanks for just to add a little bit more to what Riv is saying. So EasySOP came about, as I mentioned, circles of AI. We saw that people needed more support to actually integrate things into their business. And so what we've been looking at is building these playbooks. And the Emily one that we just showed is the first playbook that we've made freely available. But we are also opening up spots to our Founder Circle. We're looking for 10 founding members who will join us and become part of the group to help influence our roadmap for our next digital marketing playbooks. And so we're looking for people to join us. In the next slide, we'll talk a little bit about the roadmap of what's coming up. Oh, sorry, two more slides.
Yeah,
Riv.
so our roadmap for the next few months is packed with high impact playbooks. And as a Founders Circle member, you'll help decide which ones we build first. So we've got social media marketing, AI driven content planning, creation, and engagement strategies that align with your customer persona. The lead magnet and email list building, so craft compelling offers and grow segment lists with AI assistance, newsletter, email marketing, consistent AI assisted newsletters that keep your audience engaged, brand kit and prompt library, a ready to use brand voice and style guide for AI generated content, blog content engine and AI SEO, so keyword strategy plus long form AI assisted content optimized for search as well. And then your Google business profile and reviews, so optimize for local research and automate review requests and responses. And referrals and user generated content is another one where that does is AI workflows to find referral opportunities and repurpose customer content. And I just want to remind everyone that as part of the Founders Circle, your vote on which ones get built next. So it really helps us help you and build something incredible. And next slide, please, James.
Just before we go here,
Absolutely.
so Riv, can you tell us, we've got the customer persona that we're making available to everybody. What's the one that we're doing for September? We've got the social media playbook, right?
Yes. Yeah. So the next one coming up is social media playbook. It's something that we're looking forward to, and I hope it resonates to everyone else for the next upcoming one in September.
I think we got out of order here.
Did you hear on the slide, the next slide after that?
The next slide is our wrap up.
Oh, okay.
Anyway.
I was going to say, so if I could sum this up in one sentence, AI playbooks turn AI adoption into a guided, repeatable process, and you don't need any AI expertise to make it work. So today, you've seen how playbooks give you faster, safer AI adoption. They remove the guesswork and tech barriers on that. So it just helps that flow more consistently. And within that, so clear guided SOPs, follow proven steps for consistent results. And with the Founder Circle, that's your done with you coaching to implement and scale these playbooks. So we're with you every step of the way. To show you exactly what that coaching looks like, I'd like to have Tris come on.
Thanks, Rev. So one of the things that I've done in my career, my 20 years of my career, is figure out how to teach tech to people. I've taught at both UBC and BCIT. And what I really focus on is making sure there's no tech jargon. This is not fluffy and arm wavy stuff. This is real practical things that you can walk away and go, oh, okay, I get it. I get why this works and how this works and how I can take it to the next step. My goal in facilitating going through all the playbooks and helping people twice a month with them isn't just getting through the playbook and going through the steps, actually to inspire I wonder if I can questions, to take these all to the next level and start incorporating more and more ideas. That is the fundamental thing that we think will make EasySOP different and why it's going to really help people, because it's not just the playbooks. That's just a bit. It's a philosophy. It's a rationale. It's a mindset that's going to let you use AI really effectively in your business from day one. No, it's going to take you a month to get there. No. Day one, you'll have things that you can go, oh, now I see. So that's what you can expect from the facilitation and training that I will be helping out with and providing.
Great. Thank you, Riv, and thank you, Tris. To kind of wrap it all up, the concept with EasySOP is it's a little bit like learning to cook. You don't start with just a bunch of ingredients on the table or on the counter and try and figure out what to make. You start with a recipe. And so you follow the recipe and it's going to give you some results. And for the most part, they're pretty good results if you follow the recipe carefully. But to make something great, you really need to add your own inspiration, your own creativity to really turn it into something that fits with your business and works well. And that's where Trish's background in marketing for the last 20 years and his experience with incorporating AI and augmenting all of that marketing is super valuable and super relevant to businesses who are trying to adopt that. And so that's why we've combined the recipe side to get reliable, consistent results with the coaching and live facilitation to then take it to that next level and really incorporate it well to get the results that you expect. So we really hope that that some of you will consider joining us for September. And as part of that, as Riv mentioned, you're going to really get a chance to help us set the direction of this. You know, this is really the sneak peek. This is our soft launch of this community. The founding members will really be part of influencing how it all gets developed and built. So we are looking for people who are willing to try this out and help to shape it and make it work. And as part of that, I don't know if Riv mentioned it, we are offering special pricing for founding members, where you will get a lifetime 40% discount off the regular value. So the details are on the page there with the QR code. And Rip, maybe you could drop the link in the chat to the page where they can go check out the Founder Circle. All right. So we're just about the top of the hour here. So just do a quick wrap up and then we'll have a few minutes for questions. So what we showed today was a demonstration of the customer persona AI playbook, and was really wanted to demonstrate how that recipe can help you to turn AI adoption into a guided, repeatable process without having all the AI expertise that you would need to if you were just trying to figure it out on your own. And so this is gives you a faster, safer AI adoption pathway that with these playbooks, it sort of removes guesswork and tech barriers. It helps provide deep customer insights that gives a persona that allows for actionable marketing intelligence and clear guided standard operating procedures. So you just follow the steps for consistent results. So if any of this is interesting to you, I hope that you enjoyed the session. You can check out the Founder Circle at EasySOP.ai, the link there, or with the QR code. And you can get your free playbook at this page here. So click the link or the QR code. And with that, I would like to thank you all for joining us. We will take questions now. And I see there is a question from Duncan. So can multiple members of our team join the Founders Circle for that monthly fee? Yes, this is a per company fee. So this gives you access for your whole company. We do limit the number of people at the live events though. So that will be just 2 attendees per company at the live sessions. But everybody gets access to these playbooks. So you'll get, and that is, you get access to all of the future playbooks as they come as well for the monthly subscription.
And James, I'll read this one from Carol. She asked if someone is completely new and has no idea what they are doing, this would be a good course to take.
Yeah. So like I said, this isn't a course. This is more like here are some recipes. And if you need help, we've got this group help that where you can come and ask questions. If you get stuck, you need feedback, you come to the live events. And we also have a private WhatsApp group where in between sessions, you can come and ask questions and the community will help you.
But Carol, you can absolutely be a complete beginner and without any problem. We will take you through it step by step and give you everything you need to know how to use these effectively.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Duncan asks, other than LLMs, what tools are prerequisites? So for the ones I showed today, it's just an LLM. For the social media management, as we get into September, it's going to be We're still working on the details of specific tools, but you'll need to have a social media management tool. So there's low cost ones like Buffer that are that help you with basics, things like content scheduling in your calendar, as well as like connections and deployment of posts to the different social media. You're going to need an image generation tool. If you don't want to pay for a separate one, you know, if you've got a ChatGPT account or Gemini, it can generate images. If you're wanting to do any video editing, we recommend Descript as a good video editing tool. And there's others, but because this is geared towards small business, we are looking at tools that are typically in the $20 to $50 range per month. So we're trying to keep subscription costs low. And where there's a free option, we do like to highlight that as well. Any other questions?
Unfortunately, I have to drop off because I've gone back to school and I have a class. So I will be, feel free to reach out to me or anyone else in this, and thank you for attending.
Thank you, everyone. If there aren't any other questions, thank you all for your time today and really appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.